All right, folks, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the January 12th meeting of the Topsham Bicycle Pedestrian Committee. Let's see.
Nadia might actually lost.
Oh.
Oh. We're live.
There wasn't a thing.
There she is.
Oh, Andrew. All right.
Hi, Benedict.
All right.
No loss.
Welcome, welcome.
Hi.
All right, how's everyone's new year getting started? Just the thumb. All right, very good. Let's see, can we talk about the minutes from last month? Anyone like to make a motion regarding the minutes?
I'll move that we accept the minute last month.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Is there a second? I think Aaron should have. Okay, Aaron is seconded. Is there any discussion regarding the minutes from December? All in favor of approving the minutes? Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, a couple updates. I want to welcome Ben back officially as a member. I also want to welcome Nadia as a member.
Hello.
Nice to see you both. Thank you for being here. Glad to have you on the committee. I also wanted to let people know there was a little bit of haphazard communication regarding a resignation that took place after our last meeting. Some of you know that Dana resigned from our committee, effective after our meeting last month. So he was very appreciative of all the work we're doing, and he said, I think you guys are on a great trajectory, and I think we should have some younger people on this committee. That was what he told me. So I think we've some younger folks. So
The old person.
I know.
April.
So as Sarah should be here, Sarah's got a card for Dana, so we will do a card for Dana. And certainly I'm happy to pass on his address if anyone wants to do anything special about it. I think that is it in terms of updates and announcements. I'm going to ask the question. I'm hoping the answer is no. Does anyone have any adjustments to our agenda? All right. Wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Sarah.
Thank you very much. Hi, I'm Sarah. I don't think we met last time. Welcome aboard. Great to meet you. Yes, thanks so much. So we have a lot to cover, so I want to just get right into it. I'm excited to get started and looking forward to, just digging right in. Hello, come on in. So,
Hey, if she wants to sit in it, that's fine. She's gotta go through all the testing though, if she does.
I had already sent around this schedule that gets pretty into the weeds, so I don't want to spend too much time on that, but just know that it's kind of for our internal use, but our as in me and Vanessa mostly, but as an FYI too, folks, we decided, Vanessa, who's joining us over Zoom this evening, who's also at Haley Board with me as a consultant. So this is just kind of our path forward. I think it will get fine-tuned as we go. So some of the dates might adjust here and there, and we can definitely provide updated versions of this as changes happen. And then the other thing that we had sent as a read ahead was this. We sent a few things, but the other thing that I wanted to talk about now is just the communications plan. So that's the one with these blue headings. So this just shows on a really high level what we're hoping to get across is the goals and the key messaging of the project, how we're planning to target certain hard to reach audiences, and then just an outline of how we're planning to do touch points along the way through the website, social media, newsletters, press releases, all that stuff. So we'll be fleshing this out as we go. I'll put the text right into this outline. This will be a living document in the Google Drive. Is how we usually use it. So if you have any comments or concerns on the schedule or on the communications plan, we can talk about them now, or if you want to drop comments in onto the Google Drive. Yeah,
I just wanted to mention one small thing that I noticed. I didn't go through this super fine tooth
Sure.
comb, but I was looking at the data gathering part. I was glad to see Strava data.
Yeah.
That's great. The one thing that's not on there is our black box data, which
yes.
we gathered and is available in the drive.
So that's the speed data.
Speed, yep, yep,
Speed, traffic.
AABT.
Yes.
Okay, so I know that was one of the packets last time that you had handed around. We didn't really get a chance to talk about that, but. Speed report.
Yeah.
Okay, great, awesome. And are we gonna use our drive for all of this? Yeah, I think that would probably be the cleanest way, rather than me creating another drive with. I agree. Yeah.
I'll send it again to. I think so, but I'll just send it again, so. we have it correct.
And it says early in February, when we have a workshop number. Is that been date, is there a date for that? Because early February is just around the corner. Is there a location?
No, so we're gonna be ironing all of that out tonight. I think early February we're probably looking more like mid to late February, but we can shoot for early if it works, but I think we're getting to the point where. So the plan would be, we're meeting again in 2 weeks' time. There'll be more content that would show you folks to react to start rolling out, so that would be like the press release. Ideally, we want to hit about 2 weeks before that we're really getting that info out there. Too much earlier, and people start to kind of forget about things. Too much later, it's too late. So,
I think the dog unplugged it.
I'm so.
Oh, you are? No, that actually makes it. I was confused.
Wait, you unplugged something?
yeah, I did.
Sorry.
Vanessa, can you hear us okay?
No, the owl dropped off again. I'm only seeing black screens for Jeff and you.
It's being fixed right now. We'll be right back
Okay.
up in a minute.
Yeah, I think as long as one person is talking, when a couple of the ladies were just talking, you guys you blended. So I didn't hear that.
Should be good now.
Okay, I can repeat the question if she wants it. I was just thinking about early February was the target for our workshop number 1, and that's just around the corner. And Sarah was explaining that it may not be at the very beginning of February, but may end up being mid-February.
Yeah, the intent there was that we would send the save the date out by early February at the latest. Yeah. Any other questions or thoughts?
How much time, Jeff, do we need to post it in the crier? Is it a week ahead?
Oh, probably more than that.
2 weeks ahead?
Probably at least 2.
At least 2 weeks ahead, so we have to keep that in mind if you want to get it in the crier.
Okay, great.
And if you book it as a town event, the library can host it for free.
Okay.
Okay.
So Sarah, it might make sense to just elaborate a tiny little bit more on potential dates. I know we're going to think about talking about that later in the events section. But while we're on this, school vacation week, can you remind me when your vacation is? Does it start on the 16th of February? Does anybody know?
I believe that's it. I'll
Yeah.
check now.
Okay.
Yes.
On the topic of trying to capture as many people as possibly, and it always seems to be hard to catch families. I've noticed that the library does have some pretty robust programming on Tuesday and Thursday, late afternoons and early evenings, Thursday in particular. Are there any thoughts or ideas around, or how would people feel about doing an event that was sometime on a Thursday that might be able to capture some of the comings and goings of sort of those middle school kids, and then I think there's some teen things going on or tween things going on a Thursday, and that might be as an option instead of doing a Saturday. A Saturday is always a great time to catch families, but there's, sports and things going on as well. This one might keep us midweek and leverage the activity that's already going on in the library.
Are we gonna be recording those meetings, those workshops? We are, right? They're,
Well,
Oh.
they're not, the format of them doesn't lend necessarily well to recording because it's not audience style. So it would be people moving around a room, interacting with maps and posters and things on the wall or laid out over a table. So it becomes quite difficult to capture the actual conversation because it's many people talking at one time. But photographing, getting small little video clips as possible, and then of course posting that interactive, like the results from it, is something that we can also do too.
the only conflict I see on Thursdays is the select board meetings meet every first and third Thursday, and two of us here are on that board. And then if they want the town to be involved, they won't be able to go.
Okay, so you're the first and third. So the 12th would be the second, and then the 28th would be the fourth Thursday. Sorry, 26th.
Do we have a location for these? Where do you want to?
Well, we don't, and that's the other piece to think about. I know in the past the library has been a good spot to meet because it seems like there's a lot of comfort in the library. So we would need to check with them too. But if people are open to the idea of that Thursday kind of programming, we could ask about that, and we can also ask about a Saturday. It's possible to ask about maybe doing like creating some kind of fun event on a Friday later afternoon into the evening, and maybe there's pizza and it becomes an add-on, something that's not normally done. But all of those are options that we can explore.
I mean, if it's the library, good. The Don Russell room next door is typically tied up on Thursdays.
Okay.
Right.
So it sounds like the 26th would not be a select board meeting, so that could be good. And then if we could see if the library was available that day, it'd be one option.
Our select board persons occupied all Thursday. of
No
your
other
meeting?
meetings as well, so the room is always occupied on Thursday.
I mean, if we did it at the library during school
That
vacation.
wouldn't be,
Okay, so we could do the library school vacation week on a Thursday midday. You could come.
Yeah, for us, definitely. And that's a good point that not everyone has that luxury of being able to leave town on school vacation week. And I've noticed there is some more robust programming going on in the library. So this could be a great offering to add on to that. And to keep in mind too, that it's at the beginning of this process and we will have another workshop later. This is going to sort of be in tandem with that online work of putting the survey out and doing the interactive mapping that's out in the community. There also could be a way to leave behind, if the library is willing, and also in the town office to leave behind a mapping exercise with some instructionals, just sort of like you've done with the other information in the lobby of the town office.
The other thing you could consider is the library has a art director who maintains the hallways in the library, and you could do an exhibit of your survey data and leave it up. I think they do 2-week exhibits.
Okay.
Great.
All right, that's great. Thank you for all of that. That's good. I think we've got some good direction to work with there. We'll do some outreach to the library, and we might ask for some staff support in doing that outreach.
Great. Thank you, Vanessa.
Yep.
So we'll circle back a little bit more on the event. Any other questions about the schedule looking forward for the communications plan draft? Otherwise, we can move on to branding.
Is there a way that either Haley Ward or the town could have a social media post about that we got the grant and we've taken on Haley Ward, if you can share yours or something?
Definitely.
Might just be nice to have
Yeah,
something to say that we are doing this.
yeah, that's how I envision the intro post. Like, we want to have a news article that's not only about the first event, like it's more so about the whole project, and yeah, I think that would be a good thing to blast out on social media as well. Anything else? Okay. So if everyone wants to pull out your brightly colored big packet.
Are there extras of those?
Yes, absolutely. So,
Thank you.
yeah, of course. So we tried to kind of play off of the logo for the committee that you had provided, and also the comprehensive plan branding, and try and make something bright and playful, of course. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look, take a minute to browse through it, take it all in. We came up with a couple of different options for fonts, so we're hoping to get feedback on that. On the second page, you'll see a couple different options for what the stickers could look like. So we could do like a square sticker or a circle. And then there's the two different fonts, one that's more bubbly, playful, and one that's kind of more in line with the comprehensive plan branding, the Avenir font. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, if we can maybe reach agreement on which of the fonts feels like it's the right direction, and if I think on this page, I can already see there's some issues with the color contrast,
Mhm.
so definitely won't be using either of those options when we do stickers. We want to make sure that everything's really legible. But yeah, just wanted to. Oh, go
A
ahead,
little
Vanessa.
bit more on the why, why taking it a little bit brighter than the comprehensive plan palette. We were thinking about kids, and we were thinking about how fun it could be to get to the spring and do a rollout, an exciting rollout event, and to have like a number of kiosks or stations. Like you got your bike helmet fitted, get a sticker. You went through maybe a bike rodeo course, get a sticker. You participated in something, and that perhaps even through the beginnings and the rollout that we do over school vacation, we can start to kind of release these stickers into the wild, and that maybe it's not that we're printing 12 different colors, but we pick, 8 of them, and they can roll out over time. And it kind of makes it sort of like a fun collectible. They're not very expensive to print. The other thought too is this excitement around the stop sign or the speed ladies with their bright orange shirts, that we could do something fun where one of these stickers or a handful of them go onto a shirt, and then there's wording on the back of it that is like, it's like a street fixer or street champion, or anything can go on the back that is really fun. And instead of it saying crew or team, that there could be some words that go on the back to sort of identify who you are and who you are in this work. So that's a little bit more as to the direction we were trying to take the colors with.
Like an orange shirt, good for biking.
Well, I like the alphabet soup. I think that's really bold and, I like the all caps and bold. Look at that one.
I'm just the opposite. I don't like the all caps.
Oh, yeah.
I like the
That's small.
to me, it just takes away from the images when it's so bold and so big.
Well, it's kind of fun, so I.
Alphabet soup seems more kid friendly, I think.
It's more inviting, like what's the one called? The Avenir is like pretty sterile and not as fun.
Is the alphabet soup have to be all caps?
I believe so.
That was my question.
Yeah, I can double check.
Another thought too is that the stickers can, and the stickers and some of the fun things that are going out there can use that font, but we can still, as a sort of like for the document itself, it could take more of a kind of like as a highlight role, but that the document itself would shift into a more formal font.
Okay.
And this is just a preference of mine, so I don't care if you pick something
Yeah.
different. I'm not gonna be offended at all.
Well, I was I was thinking about exactly that, Vanessa. I was imagining a document and I couldn't imagine it with the alphabet soup on it, but I was
Yeah.
looking at this poster and thinking of like something that would go at my kid's elementary school, and this looks totally appropriate for that venue. But I don't know that I would want to send it to the select board as a serious document, sort of.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I think it really just sort of it fits with the marketing pieces and the playful things that will bring people in, but it's not going to be the font that your complete streets policy is going to be written in.
Did that work?
It's,
Yeah, that's going to be serious stuff.
as I went from one to the other, so like on the second page, the alphabet soup, I guess, bar, the rectangular one, I don't like as much as Avenir, but then I like it more for
It's the round one.
the round one.
Me too.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Then you go to the next page and I'm like, okay, yeah, that looks a little bit better. So there's like certain things where one is better than the other,
I agree.
I think. So
So sprinkle it in tastefully, maybe
yeah,
use the Avenir as the fancy font, but the alphabet soup for the fun
yeah.
logo font.
I kind of just, I don't care for the alphabet soup sort of at all. I feel like it's like verging on the Comic Sans nonsense that just makes it not to be taken seriously. And so that's my just 2 cents, which I mean, doesn't need to sway anything. It just needs to be said for the sake of, yeah.
Yeah, speak your truth.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we're not choosing from 6 different ones.
Yeah, thank God. No, I mean, but I think what everyone's saying in a sense, and I agree though, that like I could see some of these, like the posters, up at a library or, and drawing in kids more than the other would, so in that way. The graphics on the poster with the bridge on it is, interesting, just with the new bridge and sort of.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that might be controversial to have bridge.
that's the turn down.
This is a political statement.
Yeah,
Exactly.
could be,
Same green bridge?
Understood.
but I like the,
It's a new bridge though.
No, I know.
It's-
Yeah, it
it's-
works well. Yeah, as a,
I think
No,
the
it
new
is.
bridge.
new one would be sidewalk and the availability. Over heavy zone.
It's not as distinguishing,
Is there? Not to get into the weeds on this, but is there graphics somewhere? I feel like I've seen
New bridge.
of the mill building, the new bridge and the bike lanes in both directions.
The DOT website has that. The project website for the new bridge has that.
Okay, that sounds like a good picture now.
Is it possible to put helmets on riders? Just to promote.
Oh my God,
positive
yeah.
Behaviors,
That's a really good idea.
Graphic.
not to like make it stupid looking, but.
No.
Put like a very realistic comment on there.
They don't have feet though.
Amazing.
So I have a question of the rectangle stickers, because I think those ones, there's a bunch of lovely color choices there. And is there a preference between, like, I think I'm hearing that that's a sticker it's appropriate to have the alphabet soup on. Is that correct? Yeah. That one, it seems like there's consensus on the rectangle one.
I think I heard.
Sorry, the upright rectangle, this one, this way, not the stretched out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like page 3, I guess, right?
Oh,
Yeah, page 3.
And 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's actually the one before. If we're counting. If we're counting.
That one right there. Sarah's got it on the screen. Yeah.
One.
Yeah, I like the bold letters, but I don't like the alphabet too.
This is, yeah.
Can the heavy be bold letters?
So that one was supposed to. And they said. And so, yeah. Well, maybe that's.
Right.
Gotta be bold.
Just.
And then of the other stickers, so Sarah, if you can scroll up to
Yeah, are
the
we
top.
looking to? I'm
Okay,
trying to
so
look
This
at
page
Looking at
here
this
is
page.
the one that Vanessa was talking about.
but like, what's the purpose?
But what is the purpose? Are these for,
To make
all for
stickers.
stickers?
And post.
These would be stickers. Yep. These would be stickers. The size of this also lends well for making posters, because it's in the format of more of like an 8.5 by 11 or a 2 by 3. So I keep a sticker on my phone So they're about that size, and this is on the back of an iPhone. Can you see the screen?
I
This
don't
map-
think they can read it, but it says designing streets for, or designing
This one's
housing.
a housing one, yeah, but it's basically, it's the size that it's, I guess, about an inch and a half by 2.5. So maybe the size of a business card, tiny little bit bigger. That's about what
Can
those
you
would
show
be.
it again, Vanessa?
Sure.
Sure. This is my my slightly political statement about how I feel about neighborhood design, but it's about this size.
Oh, so the
And-
ones designing that big.
Yeah.
Little tiny.
Probably like a sticker that big.
Like a business card.
Business
vertical.
Yeah, about the size of a business card. They go nicely on reusable water bottles, iPhone cases, laptop cases. Yeah.
And then,
Go ahead,
Oh, go
Sarah.
I was just gonna say, and then overall, what we're hoping to get is your buy-in, guidance, redirection on this branding so that I can go and be ready for the next meeting with some more assets to show you guys, like the postcard that we're gonna want to hand out to people, the website, all in line with the branding, so.
We didn't talk about color at all, but the yellow seems a little light to, I don't know what you think about that, but the others are all.
Yeah, especially on the white background, it's not great for contrast. I agree.
I don't know, maybe, as I say, the public safety guys might have a thought on this. When I see red, I sometimes think fire. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad in this.
Nonsense.
Maybe it's like,
Go move it.
is it a fire? Oh, wait a minute. Nope, it's just bike bed. So it'll get attention, but also is it, I don't know. Is that, do you guys have that or blue or anything like that?
No, I mean, I think red and blue are with
Police and fire.
fire and police, but they're not trademarked. I mean, you find.
I've got a partial red one, no.
Okay.
Very good with it.
One idea I might suggest, because there's a lot of color, and perhaps if we're going to try and get it down to like your top 5, is that somebody could tape them up on the wall, and you can you can go past them either at the end of this meeting or take a break and just put like a little tick beside the ones that you like, and you get to put a tick beside 5 of them. Good.
Is that our color?
We can do that for color and for font, yeah, that sounds good, everybody.
So color meaning brighter or duller?
Or color for these
Blue,
stickers, yeah.
red,
No.
orange.
Oh, so that.
Sarah, I would suggest you put up page 3 with the alphabet, with the colors, where the rectangle is vertical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha, Vanessa.
If you can tape that up and then have everyone mark which ones that they like of those.
Define.
The color.
I wonder if, they'll just say, it sounds like there was a lot more support for the other font than for Alphabet Soup. I mean, I know I said I liked it, but I actually think that really the font should be the same as the one that's on the report and that's on the, for stronger branding, like it might just kind of muddy the waters to have some stickers that are only on the stickers and not on the other things, so I would kind of retract that and say, I think I could would be happy with the other one. I don't know if there are other people that maybe just wanna.
I kind of feel the opposite,
Yeah.
just that I think that this really catches your eye a little bit more as different, and you can tell that it's not that's just that's fun, right? Versus an actual document, which should have more sort of professional type.
But I think they
Less.
said, you can sprinkle in the alphabet soup into the document via
Yeah.
headers or very
Yes.
few selections, so it's still
Yeah,
one brand,
yeah,
but not the entire.
not the entire document in alphabet.
But maybe we need to go between the 2 pages.
It's hard to compare because the Avenir is in lowercase and the others are all in uppercase. If you were comparing uppercase to uppercase, it might look different.
Yes.
That is a good point, because I just, I guess even between pages, say 3 and 4. If you will. Or, yeah. Yeah, I guess they're both together on 5, right? Okay, yeah, no, I feel like the alphabet soup stands out more, but I don't know if that's just because it's all caps.
Because it's all caps
Or
and the
if
other one that is not, is in lowercase, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I do think that we will be able to work in both. I think if you say which one you would like to lead with the engagement work, the other fonts will be, for example, the body. So the dates and the times, like we can't, headers are appropriate for alphabet, but not for all of the body content of the poster. So they both will go together. Avenir is a wonderful font for reading paragraph styles, body captions, etc. And it is available on the web for the making of the survey. So one can be sort of like a light touch sprinkle when we come down to report writing, but it can be a little bit more present and forward with the outreach materials. But generally, the brand will stick together. They should hold together, which might make your job easier.
I was just curious. I can't vote, so it doesn't matter, but, you know, but I didn't know if people wanted to see what they want, so everybody knows. It doesn't seem like we've really made a decision as a team. Am I the only one who thinks that?
No, I agree.
I don't think we presented.
I think we're being
Yeah.
led, you know, I
Sort of-
just think, I just would like to know everyone's opinions.
Well, it sounded like a thought we maybe had was to put the stuff on the wall and people make kind of, I don't know. I don't know.
I
if
think
we
it
have-
would make sense to like write on your own
Yeah,
and then we all hand them in and then someone else tallies it all up. Just cause like there's a lot of information in here.
Well, you also could like create a couple of prototypes, like one that has a combo of the two, one that has just one that has just the other, like potentially.
well, I think
Like
that,
easy thing.
Around stickers have with on the two. Oh,
Both fonts, right.
and those.
Yeah.
Top.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
So you can see how that works. and it
Yeah, that
looks
works great. That works good, the two.
So do these.
Second page,
So
right
these-
side.
We're learning.
Combo.
yeah.
Oh.
Well, I think the idea is that we don't necessarily choose one, but we narrow it down, right? I think there's. Yeah,
Yeah, I think if we're gonna print the stickers out in a couple of colors, which ones are your favorites to print maker with? As long as everyone is feeling comfortable with everything else about it.
Can we talk about bright versus not bright, or have we already rolled one out because I haven't?
Yeah, so on that, I had the brighter color palette versus the regular, but when I printed them out, it's just not really translating. I thought that one of these purples was a lot brighter. But I'm not seeing the difference. Just in full transparency. So I think, is the color palette feeling bright enough, not too muddy? Do we think it's too bright?
I think it might just be me. I think the brighter one seems a little brighter to me.
Okay,
I might have convinced myself that it should.
okay. Yeah, it looked that way on my screen.
Yeah, very different, right?
Brighter on the screen.
Yeah,
Sarah,
And
where
it's-
were the copies made?
at Staples.
Yeah, they're gonna print different express copy. I think that the one that is brighter will come out brighter when it's printed at a proper printer.
I think this whole page is supposed to be.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can.
it's the brighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, for the good contrast between the print and the background.
Green. Beams.
Yeah, there's the
Dark.
brighter color option.
I just don't think it printed with much of a difference.
Yeah, if we can't read them on the screen, then it's probably not a good contrast.
Yeah, I
Like the
think,
blue on with the white print, the
Yeah.
light blue, the.
yeah,
very metal.
absolutely.
You
Yeah.
can't read it at all, yeah.
And it's funny that even on print, that's the first one I would have Xed out as saying it doesn't catch my attention as much. It's hard for me to see it. But I am curious if we all did that exercise, if we would all come up with the same thing, or are we different?
Just put them on the same board and let everyone influence each other.
So we put all 5 sheets up on the wall?
I think if you're getting stuck on color, imagine you're taking out 5. So it's not a big deal to print the stickers because they are inexpensive to print. So if you want to have 15, you can have 15. If you want to whittle out 3, I would immediately probably take out of the bottom row, I would take out the green and the orange and the red, because those ones to me just, their colors are not contrasty enough. Those ones, and I'm thinking about on the brighter color palette sheet. So if I was doing quality control in-house, I might have X'd out that whole row, but we wanted to give you extra options. But we also don't have to whittle it down so small that, you know, someone loses the one that they love. I would really recommend putting it on the wall and then everyone just ticks off which ones, and then we're going to keep a lot of them. And then I think that what we can do is create some more draft assets that show the two things together. We're hearing you say some like the alphabet soup, some don't. Make sure the document still looks serious. Make sure the assets are fun.
Here, let's send around a clean copy, because that's fine.
So,
Oh.
as a clarifier,
I just don't like the
Marketing
ones we're not.
materials, I might call.
Sarah, you're sending around a document, and we are indicating our preferences for stickers on the document.
That we do not want.
Oh, that one.
Or no,
that
let's
we
do
want.
tallies for what, let's,
The 5 you want, you get 5, right?
yeah, I think we should do
Top 5.
tallies, so we'll start with that.
Oh, don't put me first.
Okay, so is this the only one? This is.
Just.
Like they're just opposed.
We
We put them together, okay, great.
together.
Okay.
So
You're gonna be handed.
Okay, thank you for sharing with me.
Between those two.
It's a lot to take in.
Yes, 5 total.
That you want? Yes, that you like.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was doing it.
Thank you.
Don't like that one, don't like that.
Don't like that.
That's what I started to do on mine. I started to cross out what I was hearing people don't like, but we'll pass around a clean
what
copy
you
and you
like.
can tell me what you do like. So that way, if you like, you don't want to yuck someone's yum, you know? Oh. Okay. Anything else on branding, color palette concerns? So, the next thing that I wanted to talk about was the survey. So I didn't send a link out to this, but I will after this meeting. But this toolbar's in the way. So the way that we're envisioning the survey going, is it's not showing up right on the screen. There we go. So there's a splash screen when you open it up, and it just kind of walks through the instructions. You can't really read it on the overhead, but it says click the blue button that says click here to share a location, click on the map to drop a pin, and then provide any details and hit submit. So the idea is that it's going to be mainly a map of areas of concerns. I'm guessing people can tell us where they like to walk, bike, run, but I'm assuming it's going to be more so where you feel unsafe or what people's going to decide to share. So I'll just go ahead and show you, I'll just drop a pin right here as an example. And then the first question is, how are you traveling here? Walking, biking, driving, or multiple modes? The second question is, how concerned are you at this location? So low, moderate, or high concern. How does this location feel? That would be feels safe, feels unsafe, or sometimes safe, sometimes unsafe. And then what is the main reason you feel this way? I have a whole list here: speeding, driver behavior, difficult crossing or intersection, lack of sidewalk, shoulder, or bike space, poor visibility or sight lines, lighting, surface condition, pavement, gravel, ice, debris, personal safety concerns, no concerns. So that would be if you're showing us, your favorite place to bike, you would put there's no concern, or other. And then there's just a spot to provide any additional details. So if people want to elaborate more on what's going on there, if it's a certain time of day or a certain time of year, or if it's something super specific they think we need to know more about. So the thinking is that this would be kind of helping to build the case for where we end up, what kind of recommendations we make for which spots. If people say certain things, that might adjust what kind of treatment we would recommend. And then also to see what places keep coming up, from lots of different people, in multiple modes. So, the idea would be this would be embedded in a larger landing page that would be more consistent with the branding and would be kind of like a living website where we post our updates and what's happening and, you know, what's gone on in the process so far. So I'll send the link out so that you all can take a look at this. You can drop some test points, or you can drop some real points about what your experience has been around town. And if there's any issues with the interface, or if you think that there's something missing, I'd love to hear that so I can make the adjustment.
Is this through GIS?
Yes. Yeah, this is through ArcGIS Online.
And it's just a point, not like a.
Yeah.
Area or.
Yep.
Just a point.
Exactly.
But you could indicate in the text that.
Yeah, if
It's
it's
the whole street.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red Street.
totally.
You could put a point every 100 feet. So.
Will you see other pins or just surveys?
Yes. So here, let me submit this point and I'll just say test point. So if I said it was,
Is that 201 and 196?
I think so.
yes.
I would
It
say
is.
very unsafe, no.
Especially right out in the middle.
Yep.
So, they all
Yes.
show up for everybody to see. If you think we shouldn't do that, we can have them be hidden, but the idea is that people can see what everybody else is saying.
So it's not anonymous, like they can click on that dot and say. That
It's-
somebody said these notes about it.
Yeah, there's no name or email or anything associated with it.
So it is anonymous.
Yeah,
It's anonymous, but it's not. They see
Others
everything.
it's not
see.
confidential, yeah.
Who can
So-
delete off of that? Is it just you or is it,
Who can what?
who can delete it?
Yeah,
Something needs to be deleted.
I
Is it
can.
just you? Is it a process or is it pretty easy to do?
it's easy, yeah, and if we wanted to build this out, this is just in my Haley Ward ArcGIS account, but if we wanted to do it on the town side, then that would give access to whoever has access to that as well. But yeah, the other thing I can do is make it so that I have to go through and approve it before they get posted publicly, so that we can avoid any. Who knows what people
Good
can say.
A lot.
Yeah.
Check our Facebook.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
You get 500 dots in that one spot?
What was that?
You get 500 dots in that one spot?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it like MDOT's website, a bigger dot means a bunch of people clicked on it, or does it just stay small?
They'll stay a small dot the way I have it configured now, but we can, when we go to report it out, we can symbolize it that way. So if I was trying to summarize it all, then we could see where the big bullet points are for the hotspots.
Maybe in that intro screen, if you could just add language that says. Like share for others to see, so it's obvious that like, I'm writing a note about my son, you know, blah, 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 that I'm venting to the world that can read it, and not that I'm just letting an anonymous survey that goes to one person.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Well, like, you know, would you like this to be public or not?
Right, or just,
Like a disclaimer at the end.
yeah, like
Is
you
it-
are
I
telling.
acknowledge.
Yeah, I could even make it optional. They're like, would you like this to be shared? It could be a yes, no, and then it doesn't get shown on the map if they don't want it to.
That's good.
Okay.
Sarah, I have one thought, and I'm curious if you've kind of processed this one. Do you think people will skip over placing a dot on an intersection because 5 others have done it?
I don't know. I was thinking the opposite, that they might
They might
zoom in
post it.
place when you
Yeah.
see all the activity and then say, oh, yeah.
I guess you could also put something in the, like, you know, feel free to add as many, you know, a dot. You know, basically like, feel free to pile on a location that.
Yeah,
The more dots in one area will get our attention.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, like, don't feel like it's covered.
Yeah.
Just because somebody else did it.
The other capability that there is to allow people to comment on other people's and like give them the thumbs up. So we can see if people are,
like things.
yeah, if they feel the same way about a certain intersection, they can just give it a thumbs up like that. Okay, I can definitely add that.
That takes the onus off of like putting in all of the answers, and like if somebody has already said what they're thinking
Yeah.
about an intersection, then it takes away like having to do all that again.
Yeah,
And being
totally.
like, I feel exactly like this other person.
And I think that addresses where I was going in my mind, is that I might only take time to put in 5 dots. So I want to make sure I'm putting them in the right, in the places where it's going to catch the attention. So I might do some prioritizing and ranking. And I wouldn't want us to think on the other end that if there is a key intersection that, people skipped over boosting it because they saw that it was already covered.
Yeah, good
And
question.
there could be areas that we're not gonna be able to fix, like bridges. I'm thinking of the head of Tide Park, the bridge right there, it's so narrow, the cars are, it's not something we can short-term fix.
Yeah,
But it is. I guess it depends on if it's a town owned or DOT owned, but that kind of thing is good for a future conversation of. We gotta replace the bridge and then it's like, well, do we need to widen it? And it's like, oh, well, 5 years ago. 100 people said this thing was too narrow. We know it's.
Oh, no, they should still report
Yeah.
it, but there are some things that
Right.
short term we're not gonna be able to fix. But fix as many as we can, would be great.
cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, thank you. So I think next is back to event planning. So Vanessa, do you wanna?
Yeah.
take the reins?
Sure. So the first event is, we're looking at dates in February, and the reason for not going sooner than the second week of February is we wanted to make sure that we bring back some examples of materials for you to then, give your thumbs up and make adjustments to. We'll want to coordinate a location. The focus will be on information gathering and also sharing. So it'll be a great time to talk to the community more about the work of the committee. There'll be opportunity to do this similar kind of exercise in person. So those who don't use computers will still have the chance to interact with the information and share. It also will be a great opportunity to put on the wall some examples of short-term fixes and quick builds, just to start to prime the pump for, the things that might come in the next workshop. And so that's sort of the how that workshop will play out. I think we will hope to have the t-shirts to signal who's on the committee and who's staff and available to have conversation. I think these kinds of workshops are helpful because you can really get into conversation with people who show up and have the one-on-one that may not always, you might not be able to get the same information from people and have that sharing and interaction of knowledge if you're doing it in an audience style where everyone sort of feels like they're constrained to the format, constrained to speaking only when asked to speak, and not everyone is comfortable doing that. So I think this format works really well, and as much as we can make that as family friendly and consider not going too late into the day, I think that will also address some concerns about weather and travel and mobility that might be on the minds of some older people too.
Great, thank you.
Couple of high level thoughts, just about from what I've seen before, some of these is, if people are kind of afraid to speak out in big group as breakout groups. So say like you had 30 people there and you had 3 groups of 10. Writing, maybe writing something on like a sticky note, putting it on a map.
Rather than,
Yeah.
They don't want to write directly, and then I guess the other thing with the map is, I think of the standard versus Earth view or whatever on Google Maps, but I'm not sure if you guys found one to be better than the other. I think like that map you just had there is great for on screen, But if you had that up on a wall.
It can be hard to find
Pretty hard,
yourself
yeah.
on it, yeah. Do
versus
you mean like the skewed view where you're kind of
Oh, just even just like a
Street
street,
view.
streets,
satellite?
no satellite, yeah, not satellite view.
I see, yeah, totally.
Yeah, sometimes that's in that setting might be easier.
Yeah, and we've used both because some people really need the aerial to orient themselves. They have a hard time without some of those like those key land features. So with I think one thing we'll probably do is keep this to it's sort of like the user experience is self-guided so that it's not, you know, we're not putting you into a forum situation where you have to speak up in front of people. You can come into the room, interact with materials, ask questions, float out, chase your kids to the library, bring them back, you know, whatever the, it allows for more fluidity and it's almost more structured to be a drop in. So if you think of it as open house style, so if we set the hours to be starting at 3 and ending at 6, it provides time for people to come and go as their schedules can allow. That's one way of doing it. Another would be to do something that is more table workshop with small groups at a setting. I don't know if now like I don't know that for this work if that's the right sort of format to do. I think the open house style at this stage in the process is probably more attractive and would catch more attention because there's less of a commitment to having to spend a long period of time in one spot. A couple other thoughts is that other material can be on the wall as well. So those who might not be dialed into your work, you can show other examples of things you've been working on. You can have sheets from the comprehensive plan, the high crash location map. That might be something, Sarah, we run again in advance of the workshop. So we have the one that we did in 2018, and maybe we do it again for this workshop. And that's just one of the other materials people can interact with.
Yeah, sounds like a great plan. I think it's a mixture of having some things for people to react to, but also a lot of just information gathering. Tell us what your experiences are.
So I'm just also thinking, so will there be any formal aspect of like, say you show up anytime between 3 and 6, is there like written instructions, yourselves and us, are we kind of going around saying, okay, if you just came, you know, this is, so like, what's the, I guess I'm picturing.
How do people
Yeah,
orient themselves to what's happening?
In theory, hopefully people have found out about this through some kind of advertising, they know why they're there. But if somebody just shows up, or even for the
They're
people
like, what's
that
going on?
just know that it's happening, but don't really know what it is.
Mhm.
Yep, that's a good question. Usually there's a group, there's a handful that will come early and they're going to be, you know, into it before you start. Like while you're setting up, they're going to show up. There's, you know, there will be a push right at the beginning, and that's a great time for me or Sarah or both, or you, or you know, a number of people from the community to say welcome. You know, there's orienting to the room that here's where we're gonna, you know, we're asking for your input here on this. There's a station over here. And then anytime people come in after we've sort of started, that's sort of our role, is to pay attention to who's coming in the room and welcome them and orient them to what's happening around the room. And they'll see their neighbors doing the work, and it's relatively self-explanatory. If there's instructions, they're printed out on a piece of paper and they're taped on the wall with the work.
And we'll be there.
And you'll be there. Yeah.
And
That's the key, is that you'll want to have those conversations with people, and you'll be watching what they're doing at the map, and you might have a similar concern around town and a shared experience. And then so you'll talk about that and you'll build from that. And you know, if you see people not writing on the map, and we'll talk about all of this before the event starts, but some people are hesitant to leave their comments, and that's when you grab a pad of sticky notes and you scribble it out and you put it on the map for them. And that's, you know, that's equally as valid and helpful.
There's one last thought I have on the day of is, I think this is a really good opportunity for us to catch people's attention beyond just the event. And I'm wondering if, so, you know, obviously have the maps, maybe some stickers, and then there should be a one pager about who we are and what we're doing, or just something, or, you know, a QR code that gives them more information, but something that basically they can walk out of there and know that this isn't just like a one-time thing, and to expect
Yeah.
a second or a third, and
Yeah.
you know, who they
Yep.
can reach out to, like,
Like the postcard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of sentence
Right.
that you would take with you. It's
Yeah.
not just cute advertising and a sticker, but that's a little more substance to learn more.
Absolutely. Yeah, flyer.
Brian's looking around. No, I'm just kidding.
What did you call this number?
Right. Those are all great questions. And we'll talk a little more about this in 2 weeks, after we start to sort of bring the ideas together and we get a little closer to the date.
Excellent. Thank you, Vanessa.
Mhm.
What are the results?
There are two that really stand out. They have like
Like
more than 7 or 8.
this one is popular, the blue
Here, and then on that sheet, it
and the green would be pretty popular. So
has a lot of check marks.
excellent. I think I've got my marching orders. That's why I may have checked.
Both pieces for me. I had one, both ended up over there, so.
Did everybody
Did you
vote?
kill it?
I think I skipped one. It's fine.
Oh, you skipped one?
I think I just passed. I don't know. Distracted, I'm sure.
All right. Well, thank you for bearing with me through the branding. I know there's a lot to go through and a lot of question marks.
Well, thank you too, because I know sometimes that part can be a little like herding cats. They get so many people that weigh in, and I think it worked. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I think we're gonna have some really good content to work with, so. Yeah, excited to get started.
In terms of the first event, did we nail down a date? What are we thinking for a date?
Oh, that actually
The
reminds.
12th or the 26th, I think they were
Yes.
deciding one or the other.
Okay.
We'll check with the library on both of those dates. Are there any conflicts for anybody?
There was also a suggestion of school vacation week.
I'm not around that school that Thursday, I'm not around. The school vacation.
That's also a
week
board of
Thursday.
selectmen meeting.
That's a select board too.
On the 12th, I definitely can't be there, but
Was there,
I'm not.
20s, I think 26 better.
was there
I
a,
agree.
Just a little more time.
It's a little bit more
One more
Yeah.
meeting.
in terms of getting something prior, which I think is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
at least 2 weeks to advertise in the prior.
I just checked. We would have to have something ready for the 20th of January to get it in with February crier.
That's what I just got to.
Each other. So by January 20th, you said, right, it has to be,
Yeah. And would need it.
the announcement
Same
has to be.
You texted her,
Before the
I-
20th.
It's on it.
That should be doable from my perspective.
But what we need to find out is if the library is available. on the
Right.
26th.
Before the 20th, so we can put it in the prior article.
That should be
It is,
pretty
yeah.
simple.
Well, that's for January to go in the
something available
February
somewhere,
prior,
right,
yeah,
that
but
week.
what's is it, which week does it, when is it going?
To be honest, I can clear it up tomorrow.
Okay.
I was hoping for like a window date, and I just got a deadline for this month date. so
Okay.
I'll ask her.
The question
When
was,
does
when
the
is the
prior go
prior
out?
actually printed? That's what I was asking, because we could, it might not go out until after the 12th. You know, I'm not sure exactly. when it goes out. You got it last week.
Last week.
It came in last week, which
Yeah.
is,
Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
you're
week
right.
of the.
Yeah, the beginning of
The
the
month.
month, yeah.
okay,
Not
so
before the 12th.
it would be doable if people read it right away.
Mhm.
I think the 12th is going to be tight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I think
agree.
so too.
I think so because we'll want to have postcards for you to be able to hand out and a poster and web ready to go and survey ready to get out the door too.
I think everybody in the room thought the 26th.
26th. We're wrong.
That's an old
I think,
Newsprint.
26.
Yeah, my own-
The school break, I know, I mean, I don't usually go away and I'm at the library a lot over school breaks and, they have like a lot of kid focused things, like they have this big truck day and stuff, and there's usually a really good turnout for those things. I mean, I don't know if this would have to draw that many trucks would,
That's usually.
but-
Yeah.
no, I know, I'm not saying it, but I'm just, it's an example of
That
something
would be a
during a
good
school
day to
break.
hit.
That would be a good
Big-
day to have
big-
something.
big truck.
Are we talking like touch a truck or like?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be phenomenal.
We'd have to go in the
There's-
Can you just bring a
don't
ladder
want
truck
vision
on
to there.
February 26th?
Yeah, I'll ask.
So I think what you're saying is that we would have parents there who could be interested because they're bringing their children.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
things.
already, and they're just, I mean, people are around, so that's just like, I don't think we can rule it out because it's great, great,
But it's a select board meeting.
okay. Oh, but if it's during
The
the
select
day.
board meeting's at night though, is it not?
Right.
We're not doing a nighttime thing. We'll be done by then.
Just a thought.
I guess my one other question is, so we like the 26th. Is there was another talk of, so that's Thursday, another talk of maybe Tuesdays being good times at the library, and then maybe not the 19th, but maybe the 17th, if we wanted to have it. I'm just thinking if we go to the library with one date and they say, oh, it's booked, we can't do that,
We should have others.
we should have maybe one or two others that would work or make sense. Maybe we have a first and then a backup, kind of thing. Just so we don't have to have another conversation
Yep.
before, because the 20th is before our next meeting, right? I don't even, what's today?
No,
Yes.
yeah, our next meeting is the 26th.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe the 26th was booked, so then the 24th could be in,
Yeah, that Tuesday.
be a second choice. And if that's booked too, some school vacation.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
That sounds like a good plan. We'll shoot for the 26th. If that doesn't work, we'll see if the 24th works. And if neither of those, if both of them are already booked, then we'll look at school vacation week.
I do think there's a lot of value in trying to do school vacation week if that's historically attracting a lot of family and children. And I know the chair can't be there, but considering it's a lot of information going in and not a lot of us presenting out, I think it would be worthwhile to explore that.
Are you only unavailable
What
on Thursday or the
time
whole week?
planning this event during the day.
I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
The idea would be to do it in the later afternoon.
Okay.
So if it's during school vacation, there's more flexibility. If it's during the school week, then trying to be in around the time when people are coming and going from the library. The thing though, as I'm thinking about it, is that age group is, their parents may not be bringing them in and out of the library. They may be getting dropped off. So that might be the only downside of trying to coordinate with that group, because there might not be the foot traffic of the parents. It might just be foot traffic of kids. So, are there any others who think school vacation could work well? Because I do think it's worth pulling on that thread.
I think it's a good time. I just can't be there.
And which age group
And there's
are you
another
hoping to
vacation in
attract
whatever.
the kids? Cause I'm
I
thinking
think
now,
you're
like,
talking about
the,
the
like,
like workshop could be.
I feel like a lot of the kids with the parents, it's like, younger, much younger, which is, maybe not kids who are gonna be biking places like themselves. I mean, it's like still got the family.
Yep.
Family coming, but it might not be quite I'm not sure if you're targeting like middle schoolers, it's not necessarily gonna be, I don't know.
So I think that the families that are coming with young children, they're going to have valuable experiences because they're trying to push strollers. They're considering whether or not they can use certain roads to go bicycling with their kids, whether they're, they're following along or they're riding on the back or they're towing them. So I think it's all of them,
Okay.
obviously not babies, but their parents can vote for them. But it's all of them. And I think because they're one of the more vulnerable users moving around the community, I think the getting the older people to attend is also helpful. And trying not to be at a time of day when it's dark or the sun is going down, or, because that just sort of exacerbates any issues with snow, ice, etc., and driving at night. And so they kind of have similar needs, and if we can maybe try to get the big bulk being the families, I think getting to older people can be sometimes a bit easier because they have very specific places that they like to be and they go. We know where to find them much easier. Families are harder to get a hold of.
Vanessa, were you suggesting that if we can't do the workshop in the school vacation in February, that the second workshop should be during school vacation, like in April?
I didn't say that, no.
Okay.
No.
What would
No,
you said?
no, I think when we get to rolling out recommendations, then that might be more of a Saturday. So that you're still doing something fun that's, and available for families. It's in the daytime, no issues with night travel. But that one, I don't think I would do on a school vacation week because you're ready to roll out recommendations.
Okay.
I think if we are talking a 3 to 6 type of thing, I like you're saying that gets the option and opportunity for folks to get there earlier before weather, but it also does catch people coming home from work if maybe the mom drops off and the dad picks up at the library 2 hours later, and it's, because I just like to have that option for people who are working to still be able to, and I think 6 o'clock, I think that window hits that.
Mhm.
So.
Is there any value in the school itself?
I didn't
I
hear
know
the
the,
question.
Community center used the school when they did it.
Use the school as the venue instead of the library.
Leave that as either second option, can't the library, or put that first. School, big parking lot, big location, everybody know where it is.
Yeah,
You
I
get the-
think,
you get the age group you want, there's high school, middle school there, so.
yeah, that's certainly an option. I think if we can capture people where they are, that's usually the way to go. So,
All right, if you're comfortable, we'll give a phone call to the library and ask about dates, and then we can bring those back to the committee for 2 weeks from now, if that's okay. That work?
thumbs up
Yeah, I think the only question, we need to have
to the
the
crier.
date picked to the crier at least before the next meeting.
Right,
So-
so we'll reach out to the library and then they'll let you know.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully we get one of those, but we'll circle back if not. You'll be hearing from me if not.
Well, give the school a backup.
Yeah,
Actually
exactly.
available.
Yeah, that's a great point.
What's, I guess so this is kind of an open thing so this is a 1-day event, but obviously then there's the online portion that's open for maybe a couple weeks or, and I'm just thinking, and as far as catching people where they are, like maybe we put it up on the board outside of the select board meeting or the meeting room there, so that's
Yep.
another option, and then.
The dump.
Yeah, we're talking about that, and then, I almost wonder if as far as the school, if there's a good place in the atrium of the school that we can put it up, and somebody from the committee, I'm thinking somebody who doesn't have to be during school hours, so it could be somebody else, I could go, just gave a quick presentation from the general assembly of or we had something this is what this is, if you want to contribute.
But yeah, that would be great.
Just another,
At every school?
well, I was
Or are you
thinking,
talking about the?
Or a flyer that goes home and
yeah,
do they have folders that they send home?
yeah, that could work too. Yeah, I guess the elementary school is probably, you're gonna get those people hopefully at the library. Those other age groups, maybe.
The schools have email lists, don't they, that they send out a weekly email, I'm guessing.
To parents?
My kids are in school, that we could
And on the one hand, you're
try
gonna
and get
have,
an announcement in there too.
you're gonna have Bowden, Bodenham and Hartsville, but they're also using the same streets that we are. So even if they don't live in Topsham, their
They might have
opinions
opinion.
can be valuable. So,
I worry if you posted something, just from my own experience with teens, if you posted something in the middle school or the high school, you might get a lot of interesting inputs.
Mhm.
Which she can delete.
But they're gonna create work for her
Yeah,
by
yeah.
posting something, I don't know.
and that was more,
You just,
my thought with that, so obviously the event is like, we gotta pick a day, we gotta do it, we gotta set it up.
Mm.
That was more like, hey, maybe the event doesn't get us the turnout that we're hoping for.
Mm.
And maybe in that week or two that it's open online and that we're trying to generate as much interest as we can, maybe it's, hey, let's go throw something up here. We try a couple other things.
Is it a flyer though? Because the kids can't have phones, right? At the schools.
Well, I was thinking it's like actually physically like a map in the
Oh,
school,
okay.
and they do the same type of activity.
I thought you were
We're gonna do
talking
Alphabet Soup.
Yeah. But, and you know, we don't have to decide on that, that could be. We're not getting the turnout that we want, and let's try something else.
The pivot, yeah.
Pivot, and then. I mean, worst case, we don't get the turnout that we want anywhere, but
Maybe it's.
yeah, try, but we can't say we didn't try in that case, so.
That's a great idea.
I like to have contingencies.
That's smart. It all sounds great to me. So we'll let you know what we hear. The school as a backup plan. I like that idea. We'll try and get a date nailed down and a draft, press release. Anything else? Anybody?
Next meeting is 2 weeks from tonight.
I will be up north, so I'll zoom in.
Are you good taking minutes?
What?
Are you good taking minutes?
Oh, yeah, I think it's a minute. I think, assuming I can. Yeah.
That's good.
Brian, just so you know, I gotta work on a new venue because the fire department on Mondays is gonna start having training here, and they're gonna be filling the room, so we gotta find somewhere else to go. And we're too big for the conference room at this point, so.
Mhm. What's the money
We'll
schedule?
work together on that, but this is a challenging night for meetings, so. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Matt made the motion. All in favor of going home? Thanks, everybody.